Good morning everyone, it's Jamie and I'm going to share my 30-minute practice with you today. So if you'd like to find your comfortable position on the mat with the spine uplifted, we'll shortly begin. Just roll the shoulders away from the ears and relax the arms. With a nice long spine, just gently close your eyes. Allow your breath to find its own natural rhythm and let's just observe the breath. Don't try to alter the breath in any way. Feel the body's reaction to each and every breath you take. And as you sit in stillness, the breath should naturally slow down. And along with it, the heart rate too. But now we can actually alter that breath so that we're going to breathe longer, slower and deeper. And as we do so, let's allow the abdomen to expand on the inhale and draw the abdomen in as we exhale. So keep focusing on the breath and try to hang on to that long, slow breathing. Now let's place our palms together at heart center and we'll say one long Om together to start the class. So inhale deeply. Release your hands, put them behind your back, and then as you exhale, bend forward from the waist and surrender to Mother Earth. Inhaling, coming back up. Release your hands again, and with a few gentle blinks, open your eyes. Namaste. So let's start the class with a few cat-cow stretches. We're taking an all-fours position with the hands directly under the shoulders and the knees directly under the hips. Let's flex the back in time with the breath. So as we inhale, long and slow, we raise the chin and the chest up. Tailbone goes up too. And then exhaling, pushing away, dropping the chin to the chest. Inhale. Same movement, just try to move in time with the breath. Exhaling, Let's push away and round the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Release to a neutral position, so it's a bit more like a tabletop, and then gently sway the hips from side to side, first to the right, and then to the left. And just easing our way now, widening the knees and dropping the buttocks back onto the heels. Let's stretch forward and find our resting warrior. So we're lengthening the spine, creating that space between the vertebrae, allowing the breath to go long and slow. Just one more breath here. And let's slowly come up and ease our way forward. We're going to take a plank pose now. So keep the elbows a little bit soft and make sure that the fingers are widely spread. The back of the body straight like a stick from the ankles all the way up to the shoulders. Just keep breathing. Just one more long breath here. On the next exhale, I'm pushing back into a down dog, so I'm doing that now. And you can start with the knees bent or on tiptoes. Just focus on finding that long back, stretching the spine, and then you can ease the heels down towards the mat, perhaps straightening the legs, grounding down evenly into the hands and the feet, just for a couple of long breaths. Now, trying to keep the legs straight, I'm walking the feet towards the hands. If you have to bend the knees, that's absolutely fine. I'm walking all the way to the front of the mat. And then I'm bending the knees, throwing the arms forward and finding that long straight back once more. Then I'm inhaling and coming up. And release the hands. Well done. So I should be at the front of the mat now. You can widen the feet to about hip width apart and just spend a moment or two grounding down evenly into the right and the left foot. The weight is neither towards the front or the back, but just neutral. Soften the knees slightly, tilting the pelvis so it's like thrusting movement with the groin, drawing the belly in, and standing nice and tall. Let's lengthen the spine. As we inhale, raise the arms to the front and all the way up towards the ceiling. Keep the breath going long and slow. Just tuning in to your body's reactions, focusing on the long, slow breath. Now we're going to sink our hips back and come into chair pose. So the upper body tilts slightly forward. There's a deep bend in the knees. And if there's no restriction with the neck, you can look up towards those outstretched hands. Just for a couple of breaths. And then slowly release the arms and come back to standing. Perhaps you want to just roll the shoulders back just a couple of times and then roll them forward just to release any tension you may have there. Well done. Let's stand a nice wide stance now facing the long edge of your mat. Again, grounding down evenly into the feet, making sure you're not rolling to the sides. Keep the knees soft, tilt the pelvis forward, draw the abdomen in, standing nice and tall again, and raise the arms up. Let's find our stillness once more, going with a nice long, slow breathing. We're creating this really firm triangular base. Now let's move the right toes in and the left toes out. Keep the hips aligned as they were towards the long edge of the mat. And I'm looking over my left shoulder now down towards my left middle finger. Just for a couple of breaths. Tilt the palms so that they face away from you, and then you can drop that left hand down towards the knee as you stretch up. Let's come into a Trikonasana variation, the triangle pose. So it's not important how far you bend over, just feel the right side of the body opening up. Keep the arms stretching away from each other. Just a couple of breaths here. And then slowly coming back up. Let's widen the stance now. So I'm bending that left knee a little bit more, shuffling the right leg back and finding warrior two. So the hips are still facing the long edge of the mat. You're still looking over the same shoulder, but you've just lengthened the spine. Let's have a few long breaths here. Trying to spread the weight evenly between the front and the back foot. The torso remains upright, so you're not leaning forward, just stretching that left arm forward. Last long breath here. Then I'm going to allow that left hand to go down towards the mat, or you can rest your forearm on the knee and then stretching the right arm forward, all the way forward before opening up and coming into Parshvakonasana, side angle pose. And the last long breath here. And then let's release. Come back. Feet parallel. I'm just moving my feet closer together for the next one. And then I'm just tilting from the hips, leading with the chin and chest, keeping the knees soft, going into a nice forward bend. My hands are now going to slide from my hips down my legs towards the ankles as I allow my upper body to just release. The head comes down towards the mat. Feel that lovely stretch in the hamstrings. Just allow the breath to go long and deep. Now I'm going to come up the same way I went down with a nice straight back. Inhale, come back. Well done. And then raise the arms up again. Let's find our stable triangular base. Utthita Hasta Padasana, outstretched hands and feet. Once we've found that nice stability, and I'm moving the left toes in this time and the right toes out, we're going to repeat that sequence on the other side. Bring the hips so that they face the long edge of the mat, and now look over that right shoulder down towards the right middle finger. Keep breathing long and slow. Let's rotate the palms away again and drop the right hand down by the knee. Feel the stretch on the left side of the body this time as we look up towards that outstretched left hand. Just a couple of breaths here. And then slowly coming back. Let's lengthen that stance, so bending the right knee, shuffling the left foot back a little bit, and finding warrior two. Let's move on to Parshvakonasana, side angle on the other side this time. So my right forearm can come down onto my knee, or the hand reaches down to the floor, scooping that left arm forward, stretching as far forward as you can before opening. I'm stacking the shoulders one on top of the other, creating that perfect straight line between the wrist and the ankle. Just a few breaths here. And then slowly releasing the arm, coming back up, feet parallel once more and bringing the feet in just a little bit closer. And then reaching behind my back, interlocking the fingers, pulling the hands and arms away from the body before I take the forward bend. A deep forward fold with the legs widely spread, and I'm allowing those arms with the hands interlocked just to come over the top of the body, helping to increase that stretch. Also, of course, working on the shoulders there, just for a couple of breaths. And slowly releasing the arms, coming back up as I inhale. And then bringing the legs together. Hold on. Let's sit down now on the mat with the legs in front of us. And find Dandasana, the staff pose. Pull the toes towards you, really lengthening the back of the legs. Stretching the spine towards the ceiling. Lengthening that spine. Focusing on the breath. And now let's bend the right knee. Keep that tall spine, keep the spine uplifted. And now let's turn the torso towards that bent knee. So I'm twisting to the right, readjusting my hand. So I'm actually going to wrap the left hand around the knee now, opening the right shoulder, and I can place my right hand behind me on the mat. Just feeling that torso twist. Keep the left leg active. Just for a few breaths. Just slowly unwinding now. Stretching both legs away briefly. Finding my nice long spine once more. Very important before we twist to really stretch the spine and create that space we need. Now let's bend the left knee. Placing the left foot flat on the floor, keeping the spine uplifted before we twist towards the left side this time. My right arm wraps around my left knee, opening the left shoulder, twisting the spine and placing my left hand behind me on the mat. Looking over the left shoulder finally. Just a few long breaths. Now let's slowly unwind again. Stretching that left leg away. And now let's lie down on the mat. Bringing the knees into the chest. Let's hug the knees in tight. Feel the lower back push against the mat and perhaps just rock gently from right to left, side to side, massaging those muscles either side of the spine. Now let's move into happy baby pose. So the soles of the feet go towards the ceiling, but just keep the knees really bent. Reach between the knees to grab the outer edges of the feet or the ankles and draw the knees towards the outside of the torso. Allow the breath to go deep. Not with force, not with pressure, but with a kind of allowing. As you exhale, just allow that stretch to go deep into the hips and the groin. Now let's lengthen the legs, and the heels now reach for the ceiling. Pull the toes back towards you, lengthening the legs. Let's lengthen the spine too. Just for a couple of breaths. And now let's split the legs. So right leg to the right side, left to the left, as we come into this really nice splits pose. Keep the torso engaged and the tummy muscles. Don't allow the legs to sort of fall forward. Obviously they're going side to side, right and left, but also we're keeping the legs high. Just a couple of breaths here. And making sure we don't kind of fall out of this pose. I'm going to get you to bring the feet back together now, nice and high, stretching the feet back up towards the ceiling. Heels still pushing away from us, but now we're going to point the toes. So let's point the toes towards the ceiling and then flex the feet. And just change, flexing, pointing, flexing, pointing. You can do that as fast as you like. Just a few repetitions. And then finally bring the knees into the chest once more and have another little rock from side to side. Just releasing any tension now, preparing for our Savasana, our relaxation. Just a short class today. Just allowing the breath to settle. So now let's stretch the legs away from us. Ankles flop open, arms away from the body with the palms facing up. Lengthen the back of the neck. And just allow everything to let go. You're softening and releasing. Allow the breath to find its own natural rhythm once more. Don't try to change the breath. Just become the observer. Let's concentrate on relaxing the physical body. So bring our attention to the feet. Relax the toes and the ankles. Relax the calf muscles. The knees are soft. And the thigh muscles, let's let them go. Relaxing the hips, the pelvis now feels heavy and weighs down onto the mat. Relax your buttocks. Let go. Soften the lower back, the middle back and your upper back too. And as the breath begins to slow and the heart rate does too, you can go deeper into this physical relaxation. Now bring your attention to the hands. Relax the fingers and the wrists. Relax the forearms, the elbows and the upper arms, all the way up into the shoulders and now the neck. The entire back side of the body is resting and relaxed. And with the next exhale, just allow yourself to relax even more. Now bring your attention to the head, the skull, and in particular the jaw. Relax and release the jaw completely now. Allow the tongue to feel heavy in the mouth, and relax all those small muscles around the jaw and the cheeks, around the temples and the forehead, and the third eye center area between the eyebrows, just relaxing and releasing the face completely. If you can feel that you're hanging on to any tension anywhere in the physical body, just let it go now and release completely. And you can stay in Savasana for a few more minutes if you'd like to. But for the rest of us, let's begin to wake the physical body up now by moving the fingers and the toes. Stretching the right arm up and all the way back behind us. Bending the left knee, placing the left foot flat on the floor. And then rolling over onto your right side just for 1 or 2 breaths. With the eyes remaining closed, try not to disturb the body too much, but come to an upright seated position once more. With the spine uplifted. Place the palms together at heart center, and we'll finish the class with one long Om together. Inhale deeply. Release your hands and very gently open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I'll be back with my Wednesday and Friday practice at 6:45 a.m. Have a great day.